Hello, everyone, to another wonderful week of the crazy world of Q the A podcast.
Welcome. Glad to have you around.
Welcome. We got Dookie
Woo!
Royale in studio here. We got Catsy Roman in studio here. We got myself,
Hello.
Leon K. Grissom, in here.
And our studio is basically Google Plus.
Our studio is Planet Earth and the interweb. And this week we're
We're
going to
in
discuss
Studio G.
Studio G this week and every week. But this week we're going to talk about crop circles,
I love
which are
crop
actually supposed to be called crop formations, but since
Boo.
they're not all circles, but we're just going to call them crop circles because that's what everybody
Well,
calls them.
UFOs aren't really flying either. So they're not flying objects, they're hovering objects.
It's true. So that's what we're going to talk
If you want to get all
about.
technical.
Yeah, if you want to get technical.
Yeah, we get all technical. Let's see. In my deep, penetrative research, I uncovered that the first known crop circle reference or sighting was in 1678 from the Strange News out of Hertfordshire, England. And it's now known as the mowing devil, and it's got a picture of a crop circle in a field, and it's got a little black devil demon-looking guy, and he's like mowing or thrashing the wheat out of the way.
Yeah, no, that's a very popular. If you search crop circles on Google, like your first couple of image results are going to show that devil picture. Because I think it is probably the earliest confirmed, like, this could possibly be a crop circle kind of image out there. But there was some reference in the 1500s in the witch trials to the things that witches could do, and apparently one of those was flatten shapes in your crop fields. But,
Okay.
there's no drawing or picture or official, like, it's not in the Bible or anything.
Well, not in the Bible.
So,
Well, then it can't be true.
no,
That's
it's not
true. Now, for our listeners, we're assuming that you're familiar with what a crop circle is. But if you're not, I'll just go ahead and give you a little breakdown. It's like out in the field, just kind of overnight will appear some kind of really cool geometric design of some sort. There's
and
many
I think they're
different.
getting like more complex too, like over
Yeah.
the years as they're going.
They're getting complex. There's a lot of debate over like how they get there, why they get there, what the symbol means. Is it man-made? Is it made by extraterrestrials, or is it some kind of weird weather anomaly, or do animals do it, or maybe like unicorns?
Yeah, could
Dragons.
could be
I think
Obama on a
dragons will
unicorn.
do it.
Yeah,
Obama could be on a unicorn shooting rainbow lasers
Yes, out
at
of his
the
like Spidey.
crop circle. What
I
about you,
thought Harry
Patsy?
Potter did it. I thought Harry Potter was in
Harry
charge
Potter
of
is
that.
pretty much the answer to most things. But
Now that makes sense because he is from England,
Yep.
and magic can be used to explain almost all things that don't make sense.
he
in
does
the
ride a
Things in
broom.
England.
yeah, he rides a broom. So maybe this witch connection. I was onto something there.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the witch connection is pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean they burned the witches at the stake and then they stopped. So,
Well, there's a big, they do the pagan rituals at the Wicca rituals at the Stonehenge as well as inside of these.
yes, they do.
Some people actually believe that these are temporary temples created by, God or whatever, the Great Spirit.
So you have Stonehenge. You have Stonehenge, and then you have like another formation nearby called Avebury. And people used to think that the crop circles and Avebury were connected, since Avebury is almost like a crop
Like
circle
right there.
formation. Yeah, it's like a crop circle within a crop circle within a crop circle, but it's made out of stones.
Right.
I'm pretty certain that people didn't want to destroy their crop to make crop circles. So maybe the Avebury thing is a good theory. But also, I mean, the crop circles are a worldwide phenomena. They're not just like in Europe. Like they happen in the United States and China and Japan.
Yep.
Most industrialized countries. And it makes you wonder if, like, in third world countries, they're just not being reported, because farmers don't communicate with the outside world as often.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, back in 1880, in an edition of Nature by Rand Capron, who was a well-respected and published scientist, he described some crop circles in extreme detail and drew a picture. And he talked about the unusual circular formations. Had possibly, to him, he thought it was the result of some kind of strange storm, was his assumption. Then we don't see any references to crop circles again until about 1932. Archaeologist E.C. Kerwin, he wrote up a document about one he saw, which contained a photograph and a diagram. And then in the 60s, it really got crazy popular. They started popping up. I guess they were getting reported more, or they were happening more around Wiltshire, England, specifically. Sir Patrick Moore, I mean, and he's been knighted by the Queen, so of course, you can't question him. He was an astronomer. He actually coined the term crop circle. No, I'm sorry, he didn't. But he described a crop circle as well.
So yeah, you got to wonder, like, if weather phenomenon can actually cause that. I mean,
Some
like,
of them
If
maybe.
there's any crazy lightning storms, maybe.
well, you could cause a circle, maybe, like when a big, huge lightning might hit. But how do you get a circle within a circle? Some people think that, have you ever seen the sand and sound experiment, where they have like sand on top of a speaker, and they put these frequencies through it, and it makes these cool noises?
Yeah.
Some people think that sound emitted from the Earth causes these.
It's very possible.
It can't knock over a tree, obviously, and make a circle in the middle of trees. But these crops just might be weak enough to enable these crop circles to form.
I can see that.
Have you seen these underwater crop circles that they recently figured out what they were? They're these little puffer fish.
Right. Those are pretty badass too.
Yeah.
It's formations on the sand.
Yeah, they're not real big, I guess. They just find these cool little formations.
I saw a couple pictures where they looked pretty large.
I'm going to go ahead and put that up on Facebook.com/QTheA podcast.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, what are some other theories about where these crop circles could come from? What do you think? Either one of you.
Oh, yeah, Katsy, what do you think? Where are they coming from?
Well, ancient astronaut theorists suggest could be otherworldly beings.
Yes, that is true.
Otherworldly beings, and what are they? But are they trying to convey information to us, or just trying to dazzle us with their artwork?
I think it's a little bit of both, depending on which crop circles you're looking at.
Could just be a riddle. They're trying to get, because some of the crop circles have messages in them, but only like mathematicians can figure them out. There was a one crop circle, I don't know the name of it. I could probably pull it up, but it was it had the pi in a mathematical riddle in it, and the mathematician that figured it out, he said, actually that's pretty simple, and I've looked at hundreds of crop circles and been able to find mathematical equations in them. So he was also able to find like microwave radiation flows.
Yes.
In a couple of them. Yeah. That brings up another.
I thought that some of them were radioactive enough that they would pick up on like an e-meter or something like that.
Yeah, they're like a little bit higher than background radiation. But then again, like I said, there's some that are made by people on purpose and with the authority of the farmer and stuff, and they don't have any, and then people will say, oh look, that one didn't have any, but it was a secret kind of thing anyway. So yeah, it's just how do you prove it? Now you have all these people that can fake crop circles. And
yeah, I mean, in the 60s they got real popular. It kind of got tied in with like the New Age movement, people thinking that there's some kind of spirits or celestial beings that are coming down and giving us higher wisdom, and they're going to try telling us how to live in peace. And the documentary Thrive is interesting. What is the full name of that? It's called Thrive. I had it written down. Anyway, but yeah, that's from a guy named Foster Gamble, who's actually the heir of the Procter and Gamble. Yeah, it's called Thrive. What on earth will it take? And it specifies that they're trying to teach us how to set up free energy sources.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, using this torus shape, which is like this kind of spiraling funnel, almost like baked donut shape. And they say that Tesla was doing stuff with it, and he got shut down by the banks. And they got all these scientists who have had these breakthroughs, and every time they demo it and show off the technology, then they're quickly either arrested or murdered, or their whole science lab gets burned down.
So this is the theory that made the Philadelphia experiment possible. Like it's the same vortex that kind of disappeared the ship at the Philadelphia experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Yeah, I didn't come across anything like that, but it's probably all interconnected into the quantum physics realm.
Thrive tries to be very serious about it. They're not trying to get into conspiracies, really, except for that, like, the technology was taken by the government. But
well, no, they do. So they do start talking about why the big energy corporations would not want to let this be available, and why it would tie in with all that. They touch on a little conspiracy theory.
I think some things are kind of obvious. I'm not sure if, like, the medical field probably doesn't want some technologies released. I'm pretty certain that corporations are purchasing technology and keeping it down. I mean, I don't think that should be even mentioned in conspiracy field for real.
I mean, I know for sure that
there's corporate spies. I mean,
yeah, AT&T owns patents and technology, and they're going to wait to release it once the current technology has run its course and made as much profit as possible. They're not going to just speed up.
Unleash it.
Yeah, they're not just going to speed it up for the heck of speeding things up. They're going to milk everything for what it's. I mean, we'd be on freaking DSL internet if they could help it. Still, it's just the competitors keep inching at them.
You mean dial-up? We'd be on dial-up internet?
Yeah, exactly. But they invest so much money in the infrastructure, so you can't blame them. I guess in a certain.
It's all tax write-offs.
Respect. Yeah, I mean, it's getting into a different debate about corporations.
The corporations.
But yeah, some people think maybe animals are making these. Like some kind of animal tracks. I don't know. Some of these animals are pretty freaking good at geometry.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, those are some really circular circles.
But again, it would only be like one circle, and it would be like all the deer laying down in the hay in one spot. It wouldn't be like a circle within us. Even just as a circle within a circle. You can't do that. I mean, how are you going to do that? A perfect circle.
Unless you get dropped in.
Oh.
And then work your way out.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then have like a hoverboard or something.
If you fly in on your Vimana, then you can start from the inside out.
Definitely, I think Vimana would be the key there. Let's see, what else do we got here? I got some news from the 60s. Yeah, in 66 and 65, they started popping up in Australia, mate. Out in Australia, out there in the outback. And
near Ayers Rock, I hope.
Ayers Rock, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't dig deep enough in my research, but I'll tell you that's quite a knife there.
That's not a knife.
Earth magnetism may be the cause as well.
That's true. Earth magnetism.
Very true.
But how did Bauer and Shirley get down to Australia and fake these crop circles?
Well, now I'll tell you this: in 1997 is when Oxford Dictionary recorded the earliest usage of the term crop circles.
Was it on the X-Files?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, I wonder if it was on the X-Files. I've seen almost every X-Files. I don't remember a crop circle episode.
There had to have been something. But now in 1991, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley, two British lads, they came out and said, we have been making these fake crop circles for years, and that's why they're all around this area in England, because we just keep making them. and they go out there and they show people how they do it, and it's a big deal. And then, of course, immediately the crop circle research scientist community goes wild and says, "No, it's impossible. There's no way you could make these amazing shapes with a stick and a rope or something and some pulleys or whatever. Yeah, you're using a compass and I don't know."
Have you seen their crop circles? Like, there's examples online where you can just search Bauer and Chorley's crop circle. What's his name?
Pretty crappy.
No, they're like primitive compared to what's out there. And like that's the thing. They came out. When was that? That was 1991. And the same year, 1991, was the highest crop circle year ever. So it was like 700 and something crop circles worldwide. So another scientist, just pointed out that how could Bauer and Chorley be in these 3 locations or 5 locations at the same time? It was like Australia, Europe, United States, Canada, all these places, and on the same day had a crop circle.
Impossible.
Right.
So obviously, if it's not, if it is a hoax, they got it's a big global conspiracy of people putting in a lot of time and effort for what? What would be the purpose? Now you got, let's see. In 1996, there was one they call the Julia set, and that's based on a fractal design. That one appeared right next to Stonehenge, and it actually appeared during the day.
Yeah. Do you know the story about the plane flying over that one?
Yeah, so at 5:30 they flew over and they were taking photographs, and there was nothing there. And then at 6:15 they were flying back over, and it was there.
Right.
And some woman actually saw something, and they parked a car for about 20 minutes. She said she saw this. Actually, I'm going to quote her here. She says, "There was a mist. It was about 2 to 3 feet off the ground, and it was sort of spinning around. And on the ground, a circular shape was appearing, which seemed to get bigger and bigger and bigger as it simultaneously the mist gets bigger and swirled faster. It was gradual, and if you're standing there, you're thinking, what is going on? And everyone is discussing it, and more the traffic is building up and everything, and you just think all the time. You really realize what is happening, and then you think that's it, and then the thing gets bigger and bigger, and then you're looking at the beginning and the end. What you don't realize is what you're looking at. I didn't understand what was happening." So she got real confused apparently, and there was just this crazy, almost like a miniature 2 to 3 feet high like tornado going on or something. And sure enough, this big, amazing, fractal-looking,
Yeah, it's a really good crop circle, and it's super detailed. And so they, in response to that, they had a team of crop circle makers that are supposed to be professional crop circle makers. They gave them a design of a whole bunch of circles within a circle. There was like circles within circles within circles, and they gave them 4 hours in the middle of the night to do it. And they barely made it. So.
How many people were in there?
Oh, no, yeah, and that was another thing. There was like 10 people that made this circle. The thing is, they had to measure it out and then use GPS to coordinate the circles, and they still couldn't get it right. And these are the professional circle makers. It looked pretty decent, like it was pretty flattened out, but there was these smaller circles that they had to get it absolutely precise, and they did not, and you could see it.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, it was like a circle with a bunch of circles all in it.
So that was a test, I think, in response to the...
Yeah, that was pretty good,
Yeah.
Of course, you got to wonder, like I said, if these are fake, these are just, human-made, like, that's pretty cool. I mean, they're just, I guess it's like graffiti. They're just motivated to go out and do it. Kind of like Banksy. It's like mysterious. It's like... Ooh, speaking of which, Banksy needs to make him a crop circle.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, come on, Banksy, step up to the plate, buddy.
Word. Well, we'll tag you at Banksy on Twitter later.
Hashtag Banksy. Banksy crop circles. Hey,
crop circles.
So there's these small white balls of light that have been seen and videotaped at the sites as
Yeah,
well.
I'm wondering about that mist that she saw, because everything that I've seen,
Yeah,
balls of light.
I know. I don't know what's up with this mist, but yeah, these balls of light show up, and this one guy actually made a videotape where he had recorded it, supposedly just like happening, like right there in the field, and it was kind of amazing. And then he came out and announced that it was a hoax that he had done, but the the scientific community of crop circle
Of crop
research
circle and yeah.
says that what happened is basically that the authorities got to him and forced him to lie and say that it was a hoax and cover up the fact that he had actually documented an actual live crop circle creation.
I mean, that would be easy
Well, it
to
always
do, really.
is the government.
Oh, it's always the government. Hashtag government.
Hashtag. No, it was the shadow government.
Yeah.
It's the corporations that would suppress. They want to suppress the knowledge that the higher level ascended master beings are trying to transmit to us lowly humans.
That's what I'm saying, man. Interdimensional being.
Well, in reality, it's the Illuminati that's trying to hold all that back.
Booyah.
Yeah, the Illuminati, of course. Illuminati is very anti-celestial, higher spiritual being.
That's right.
So it's basically demons versus angels. If you want
It is
There's a
very
researcher.
much a Dan Brown novel.
Yes.
to.
There's a researcher over in Europe. His name is Charles Mallet. He's on like every video or article I've read, basically. And he's the one. He's the guy that you want to hear if you want to hear all the conspiracy behind that video, because he's got I don't know, the people that rumor and talk about what and then they find a government agent that was involved with suppressing that video. It looks really good because so there was a video not long before that of just a ball of light going through. It was just like hovering over the fields. It didn't make a crop circle or anything.